Let me recognize Mr. Shuster, who's the chair of the Rail Subcommittee.
I thank the chairman and thank all of our witnesses that we're going to hear from later today. I appreciate us having this hearing before we roll out the transportation bill. And I think that what the chairman's done and working with us, I think it's absolutely the right way to go to deregulate passenger rail in this country. You heard what the chairman had to say. Some of it I'll repeat because I think it's important that we hear it. But internationally, there are private sector companies out there, as you heard the chairman say, that are running private rails, turning money back to the government, not taking it from the government, creating jobs, union jobs, I might add. So, and as we recently heard in New York, there are investors that are interested in operating and investing in the Northeast Corridor. The ranking member is correct. There were no bids for the Northeast Corridor, but there were many attempts to make bids. But they were blocked at every turn. And then, of course, the stimulus came out, and there's billions of dollars of free money. So who's going to invest their money until they see where this free money is going to flow? So really, it's not fair to say there's no interest in it, because there certainly is interest in the Northeast Corridor. As I said, the stimulus money that came out also misguided. The president, it was said he had a vision for high-speed rail. I believe his vision is blurred. It is not possible, in my view, to have high-speed rail to 80% of the country. Nor do I think Americans need or want high-speed rail in 80% of the country. Where we should have focused is where 20% of the country is, the Northeast Corridor, about 2% of our land mass. The congestion's there. We own the tracks. We should have focused that stimulus money on the Northeast Corridor. That's where the money should have gone. Let's get at least one place in America where we have high-speed rail or something approaching high-speed rail. Let's have a success story and then roll it out around the country, because there are corridors in this country that I believe would sustain high-speed rail. As I said, the president put dribs and drabs, sprinkled that money around the country, and it is not going to have a significant impact. Well, except finally, because of Florida rejecting their high-speed rail money, there is going to be a significant investment in the Northeast Corridor, or at least more significant than there was. But if you know the Northeast Corridor, like I know the senator does, he knows that there are really three major choke points in the Northeast Corridor. The bridge in the tunnel in Baltimore has to be a new tunnel, an expanded tunnel. You've got to improve the bridge from Jersey into New York, and the catenaries need to be improved. When you do those three things, then you can start to talk about high-speed rail in the Northeast Corridor. Have to do some other things, but those are the three major investments that have to occur, and we haven't really done that and haven't been serious about it in the past couple of years, the past 40 years. And when it comes to Amtrak, it has been 40 years. It has taken billions and billions of government dollars and not even approaching a break-even point. When you look at the concessions on the railroad, they lose money. There's no reason in the world you have a monopoly on the train selling concessions, only one place to buy water, and you can't make a profit selling water on the Amtrak system in the Northeast Corridor or anywhere for that matter. The chairman did mention Virgin Rail. The numbers are staggering. You go from a 300 million to 250 pounds of subsidy to them. Now they're giving that much money back to the government. They're returning money because the operations are turning a profit, going from 14 million riders to 28 million riders. In the Northeast Corridor, there's 10 million riders, and that hasn't changed significantly over the past decade. But here you have a corridor in England that is probably about a third to a half the size of the Northeast Corridor, and they get 28 million passengers. And they're not doing it with high-speed rail, mind you. They're doing it at 92 miles an hour and doing it very well at those lower speeds. Again, but turning a profit. And also, for my friends in the union, the labor movement that are here today, they added a third of the jobs. So let me forewarn you, I'm going to ask the question when you testify today. You've gone from 29,000 workers in Amtrak to 19,000 workers over the past decade. Now, if in most corporations, I won't say all corporations, but in most corporations in America, if you lost a third of your business, you'd probably be fired. We need the labor movement on board excuse the pun, but we need you on board. These are going to be union jobs. We're going to create jobs in the Northeast Corridor. We're going to create jobs in a passenger rail system if we run it effectively, so that everybody will benefit. As I said, the Northeast Corridor is the place to focus this. In our bill that we're going to put forward, we are going to move forward and move to deregulate. And as I said, I think it's going to be good for all of Americans. Those that work in the system, those that ride the system, and those that pay taxes are going to see that subsidy reduced and quite possibly start to see money flow back into the government. So I'm excited about this hearing. I'm excited about our bill, and look forward to hearing from all of our witnesses. And I yield back.